Jarvis, drop my needle.
Hello, this is the hardcore legend Mick Foley, and if you are interested in listening to idiots, you came to the right place. Have a nice day.
Woo! That's an attention getter.
He's a very strange young man.
He's an idiot.
What we're dealing with here is a complete lack of respect for the law.
Oh my God, he's an idiot.
You know, of course, that you're out of your jurisdiction.
Personally, I think you're an idiot.
But that's the evidence in the car.
But I was going into Toshi Station to pick up some power converters.
Always like to keep my audience riveted.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, friends and fiends, and welcome to Free Range Idiocy, the podcast about everything, but mostly just the stuff we like. This week, we're kicking off a two-parter focusing on one of the strangest trilogies that has taken its sweet time to fill out, Tron. This week, we go after the OG movie wherein the dude, Lacey Underall, Captain John Sheridan, and Chancellor Gorkon embark on a wild and zany adventure from the real-life world into the world of 1982 computer games in an epic battle of users, programs, and a giant digital dreidl with a face, trying to take over the world and become SkyNet 2 years before there was a SkyNet. How does this 44-year-old movie hold up? How did we hold up watching it? We'll find out in this episode 230, The User Abides. I am your Uncle Todd, and with me, as always, is the man who has been working on his own light cycle for the better part of 40 years before realizing he hadn't plugged it in. He has been my partner in Idiocy for over 2 decades and is hoping that his clue will be able to dunk a basketball. I give you the man they call Tim.
Greetings and salutations, my friend. And when you say light cycle, what you mean is one of those... Jeez, you go okay over there?
Doing all right. Sorry, you're
and half a pack of Marlboros. I'm recovering.
Like Selma over here.
Roma.
You were saying about something about a light cycle before I hacked
When you said light cycle, all I could think of is one of those motorized carts at the local Walmart that I'd be running, driving around in and stuff.
Well, I thought you'd be talking about your scooter.
Well, there's that too, but right now my scooter is out of commission due to blown out front tires. So.
Good.
But
grown-ass man should not be riding a scooter around. It's not befitting a man of your stature.
It is quite a befitting thing, my friend.
No, it isn't. I've seen the helmet that you wear when you're on that thing.
It's professional looking.
Professional what?
Professional scooter driver.
No, I thought it was a professional clown college instructor. I was mistaken. Pardon me.
Well,
Well, it appears that we have a guest here, sir, and I did not prepare an
before you introduce the guest,
here, but I was
before you introduce the guest, though, I think there needs to be some deference paid to me. You know what I mean? Like we aren't going to have our week in geek to be able to have me gloat about this, but I think there's a reason
Aren't
why,
I
my
sick
friend,
enough? Haven't I paid enough?
I think there's a reason why, my friend, I have not one, but 2 belts, because I am now a 2-time back-to-back
so basically
fantasy football champion, ladies and gentlemen.
A hat on a hat is what we're dealing with right now. We're doing. Don't clap for him. Don't encourage him. Damn it.
Best in the world came out on top yesterday. My meteoric rise from basically being last place to first place. What's that?
Meatball work, sure.
Oh my goodness. I essentially survived the dregs of what was the last week of football where no one plays anyone and the guys are kind of just showing up and showing out. So, but yeah, I am now the king once again. I predicted it. I told you I was going to go on the run, and I did the run. I did it. So, best in the world once again, my friend.
Good on you for having the runs. I'm very proud of you.
All right. Well, next week in Geek, I'll gloat some more about it. But
no, you won't. That's it. This is it.
No, here it is.
We're done.
2 belts, baby. 2.
Yeah, good.
2.
Good for you. You're Timmy 2 belts. I'm so proud of you.
Hey,
you won a fake sport with a fake team and with fake belts. Wow. I don't even know how many levels of participation trophies that is.
Oh my goodness.
You're like a 3rd grader who ate paste, and they're like, "Well,
do you think I can do it next year?" 3 times. I could do it 3 times.
Good for you. Man. I will not be there.
You will be there. Come
on
now.
Not. I am done. I am
you can do
done.
It.
I am done. The fantasy gods have proven that we live in an unjust world. I give up.
Yeah. Your prayer. Well, your prayer was kind of answered. It was just more on you than it was me.
You know, this is not about me.
All right, we'll talk about that in the Week in Geek. We
will not. We're done. This is it. It was this week. It happened this week. We are done with this fantasy football crap forever. That is it.
All right, if you say so.
You're gonna give me a sinus infection at this point. You happy?
Kind of.
I'm gonna be on antibiotics for the next year and a half.
As it should be. But you were about to introduce our
No, I was gonna say you can do the introduction because you know them better than I do.
Okay, well, I would like to introduce my eldest, the DJ, who is our resident Tron expert. And Uber fan. Oh, that's right.
Oh my gosh, you guys! Seriously.
Yes. Oh, yeah. that was one of the one of the Christmas presents this year is the Tron disc,
and a good one, not the just spray painted frisbee they used in the movie we're talking about. And so obviously just a spray painted frisbee. Like, wow, okay,
yep.
Didn't do much to gussy those suckers up, did you?
Well, they were on a budget, I suppose.
Yeah,
a little bit, but
welcome to the show. I just want to say I apologize for your insufferable father's antics here during the introduction of our show.
It's okay. I'm used to it. Okay. I'm used to it. You know, this is why I avoid going home. You know.
When you all were opening Christmas presents, was he wearing one of the belts around the house?
No, but I wouldn't have been surprised if he was.
Yeah. Just a bathrobe with a belt around it. Woo! Every room he goes into, the champ is here.
That's right. That's right. Have no fear. The champ is here. Very nice. Very nice.
All right. Well, just for the sake of our viewers and listeners, I will be muting myself occasionally here while I honk my schnoz because I've got a head cold going on.
I don't think you should. I think you should let the horn section play.
I just have to remember to unmute because I don't want to be the boomer in the Zoom call.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And then everyone has to try and tell them like how to do it because they're like,
yep. You got to unmute. By the way, I have playing while we're recording over on my other monitor. I do have the Stranger Things themed Raw playing on mute, so I can give some updates as it goes. But
all right.
They did a Stranger Things themed Raw?
Yeah, because they're both on Netflix. Monday Night Raw's on Netflix.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I might have to check that out. That sounds kind of interesting.
Yeah, it was a cool start. They had kind of the whole Stranger Things like theme music going, and they have like the squawk van on one side of the entrance and and some other stuff on the other side. It's kind of cool. So
nice.
So yes, so
you're essentially speaking a whole other language right now.
I know. I'm sorry.
I need closed captioning.
I'll be giving updates as we go. So.
Okay, good. I'm very thankful for that.
I bet you are. But we're here to talk about Tron.
We are
tonight.
Oh, excuse me.
And why Tron? Why did we settle on this? Well, as you and I were talking and figuring out what the hell we're going to talk about for the next 3 months.
Which actually, the sad part is, as discombobulated the show is, we actually do try to plan this stuff.
We do.
I don't know if that's a credit or a demerit. I'm not sure.
You got to have a plan if you're gonna make it in this world, and so we are organized. If we're nothing else, we're idiots, but we're organized idiots. So
well, and as to finish that sentiment, as Mike Tyson once famously said, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
That's true.
This is essentially what our show is every week: is us punching ourselves in the face.
And apparently, that's going to happen to me in the end of February when Uncle Todd comes out to Chicago. If I continue to throw these belts up,
keep
into
this shit up, and yes, that is exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah. No one's going to save you.
I'm going to kick you square in the nuts.
Thank you, Cartman. Thank you. But yeah, so we had for a while talked about Tron, and I had mentioned Uncle Todd based on conversations that the Tej and I have had about just its influence, kind of back in the early '80s when I was a kid and seeing it and what I remember of it, and I hadn't seen it in a long time, and so we thought it'd be kind of fun to go back and rewatch it. I don't know if we're going to do this next week, but we also have a Tron Legacy, Tron Ares comparison episode next week, so we'll invite the Tej back for that as well for perspective and analysis. But yeah, tonight we're going to focus on the original, the real Tron. Sorry, I was trying to help your ear canal there. Just kind of flush it out.
Swear to God, this is going to be the episode. This is going to be the one that I just go off the freaking edge. Only took 230, and here it's going to be. I thought I was going to drive you nuts first. Who would have known?
Oh, no, sir. No, sir. I came prepared as the champ to drive you insane. All right, but let's get into it. So, background of Tron. Actually, before we get into the background, so TJ, you're in an interesting position because you were born. What are you holding up?
Is it possible for Ricolas to go bad? Because this is looking a little on the shady side.
Dude, I've never seen him look like that.
I would throw that out.
They normally look like a nice amber color. If they're not, I wouldn't have that.
Let me just double. Oh yeah, they're all like that.
Nice. You might want to pull the pin and throw it out the window before it explodes.
During our first break here, I'm going to have to go procure some non-aged lozenges.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. You were asking your eldest questions that were important
just
to what
wanted
we're talking about.
Yeah, just wanted to where you were born long after this movie had came out. What kind of turned you onto it, and how'd you get connected into it? What was it?
Yeah, well, I mean, strangely enough, I didn't see the original Tron first. I saw Legacy. That was the first one I saw.
Okay.
And, a big part of me enjoying Legacy not only was the visuals, but also the fact that, my favorite group of all time, Daft Punk, did the score for it. And it's a really cool score that combines both electronic with, orchestral music. And it's really gripping because of that. I mean, I have it on vinyl. I listen to it, pretty regularly. It's a really good score. And so that's kind of what got me into Tron to begin with. My friend Will, which, Dad, Will,
Mm-hmm.
He was the one who we watched outside. He has an outdoor, projector. So we watched Tron and I was just kind of blown away by it.
Watch the first Tron or watch Legacy?
The Legacy.
Oh, Legacy. Okay. Yeah. Yep.
And, it that was kind of my foray into it. And then, years later, I decided to watch the original with a friend because we were going to go to the Music Box theater and watch it in 3D, Tron Legacy in 3D. So we decided to watch the original just to, watch it because, we wanted to do a little, as much of a binge watch of Tron as you could.
Sure.
It's a short binge.
So
it is a short binge.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little longer now. And I've watched basically everything I could about it, including the short-lived Disney show about it, which is also amazing, probably even better than the movies in some cases. But
I didn't. Wait a minute. What is this? I've never even heard of this.
It's on Disney Plus. It's called Tron Uprising. It only had about one season, but it's kind of fills in the gaps between the original Tron and Legacy.
Huh.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, they got the original Tron actor back for it, but they have a bunch of other famous actors in it as well. Elijah Wood plays the main character.
Oh, wow.
And you can kind of tell it's him. It sounds like him, but
yeah.
It was a really good series, and it's a shame that Disney canceled it because it left on a cliffhanger, and so there is that. But getting back to it, basically, yeah. So I watched the original Tron because we were going to go see Legacy in 3D, and I think like looking back on it, it was super interesting to kind of just see like what they did. I mean, I always hear the stories about how they were nominated for awards and they kind of like lost out on that because the fact that they were using computers and they were like basically directly painting over the film was like considered cheating.
Yeah.
And I find that interesting because most films now in my age use CGI to some extent. So the fact that it was considered cheating back in the day is really interesting.
Yeah.
And the funny part about that, I started watching, I didn't make it all the way through, like the making of Tron feature. And the way they were describing it, they're like, there's for a movie that they, people talk about CGI, computer effects, and because it was people thought it was cheating. They're like, there's surprisingly little computing power being used in this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I was like, okay, yeah, because I would have thought. Then they're describing like the process of how they would, layer these, the frames and everything. I'm like, this is not this is not CGI as we know it.
Yeah.
No, I had found, I think I'm trying to find it on the Wikipedia page, but there was, it said when they did wait, where did it go? The solar sailor that you see that they ride on in the original Tron, they like, I think to render that, it would take like 6 hours per frame of render, just for that, and you when you watch the movie and you see how far that thing travels, like there's a lot of frames going on with that ship.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of time that was spent rendering that, what was basically probably what George Lucas used as the prototype for Count Dooku's solar sailor there. You know what I mean? But yeah, like to give folks a sense of, I mean, this was late 70s, early 80s. So the compute power was not there. I mean,
no,
they were working. One of the computers only had 2 megabytes of memory with no more than 330 megabytes of storage. Like, our phones have more storage than those things.
Way more. I mean, one of those things that you hear all the time is like, the computing power that was used to land people on the moon is outclassed by like the first iPhone.
Yep.
It's amazing, like how small and powerful things have gotten, and yet how much dumber we've all gotten too.
Yeah.
Yep.
I hate this timeline. But yeah, no, that's the whole process of this movie, and I forget who it was, because I barely even remember my own name right now. I've got so much snot in my head. But one of the guys in the making of was like, it's the first movie that was ever made this way. He's like, it's the only movie that will ever be made this way, because immediately afterwards there was other processes. Like, they essentially invented the way they did this, and this is the only movie that was ever made this way, which is one of those cool things. Like, unless you intentionally try to recreate this look, it has this unique feel to it.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is interesting for me, because I thought I had watched this movie. I really had convinced myself I must have watched this movie at some point. And as I'm watching it, I'm like, I think I've just seen enough clips that I convinced myself that I had seen the whole movie, because I'm watching it. I'm like, I don't remember any of this. Like, all of this is fresh information. I'm like, oh, okay.
So, question for you, because you and I believe, went to the same elementary school without realizing it.
Correct.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember this, but there was a few movies, and I think they did this as a fundraiser, for like something to raise funds to do activities for the students at the school. But our elementary school used to take the gymnasium, and they would put up a bunch of chairs and put up a screen.
No. Don't start giving it too much credit. It was a gym-a-cafetorium.
Well, it was. It was a gym, it was a cafeteria, and it was an auditorium.
And it did none of them well.
No, it did not. I performed on the stage in that auditorium.
Me too. Me too.
I was Tiny Tim in the Christmas Carol,
and I also failed miserably climbing the rope in gym class in that same room.
Oh,
so,
that was a beast to overcome, wasn't it?
Oh God, it's like like, why punish the chubby kid? Like, seriously, it's bad enough that as I'm running around out in the playground trying to play tag, I've got my corduroys going vit, 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 because I've got the friggin' thigh rub going on. Like,
yeah,
can't sneak up on anybody. They heard me coming. But no, as you were saying about the gym at Cafetorium.
No, but so the fundraiser was buy a ticket, and they had different movies. I remember going to see the Return to Witch Mountain, and Tron was the other one, and that's where I saw Tron was at our elementary school, and so that's where when you said you convinced yourself you saw it, I'm just wondering maybe you did actually see it, because I remember that was a very well attended thing at the school. Like, a lot of families came to that.
Yeah, I definitely didn't. I don't remember.
Cool
that
to
at
have
all.
like a movie playing at our school, sort of thing.
I did not go to that. I think I've just seen enough clips over the years that I just convinced myself that I had, because I mean, really, I'm kind of in the same boat as Tej here. I'm like, I watched Tron Legacy first, and that was why, for me, like, going back and watching the OG, I'm like, hey, this is a little rough. In all ways and shapes. So yeah, but I definitely see, like, oh yeah, this is definitely an important flick. Obviously not on the kind of the same scale, but it's one of those movies where I'm like, I can definitely see how this movie was so important. I can't say that I would want to watch it over and over and over again. Like, I understand why 2001: A Space Odyssey is a huge, important movie. I do not feel the need to go back and rewatch that one over and over and over again. It's like, no.
I agree with that. I watched it recently, and I definitely can attest to that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, okay, yeah, it was important. It was great for its time, and I can see how all the branches of the different timelines, branched off of this. I don't need to go back and watch it. I get it. Like, cool.
Yeah.
And a little bit of the same for Tron, although Tron's a little bit snappier. Like, what was it? It's like 75 minutes.
Yeah,
it's a pretty short movie, but it does.
When I was watching
some
it,
places.
when I was watching it on Disney Plus here on my computer, and I happened to hit the mouse, and I saw that I was like halfway through it. I'm like, that can't be right. It doesn't feel like the movie's been on for that long, but it's a short movie, so it's just what it is.
See, for me, it felt longer though. That was the thing. Even though it was a short movie, it feels way longer than it actually is.
Yeah. There is well, it's also that kind of pacing thing. Like, pacing in movies has changed so much over time. And this very much feels like kind of the pacing of that late 70s, early 80s movies where, when there's action, there's action. And when there isn't action, there ain't no action. Ain't a lot happening.
Yeah.
It's like Tron and Ram just chatting it up in computer jail for a few minutes, and that's kind of it.
Yep. I also seem to have a memory of in that movie that the light cycle chases were more numerous and longer. And
yes.
I was shocked, like, wow, that was it.
Like 45 seconds. Like,
yeah,
I wanted more, but
it's a little bit. There's a little bit of a vibe of like Star Trek: The Motion Picture, where it's like, okay, we got to show off the special effects. So you do have a bunch of quiet moments of like kind of computer landscape scenery. You see the carrier go by a bunch of times. So it's like, hey, look at what we can do. I'm like, that's great. Is anything happening though? Because I really don't feel like it.
Yeah.
We do get a couple of glorious, like, Jeff Bridges overacting moments, which are...
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes.
Which, watching the making of him, like, he's sort of like, you really didn't know what was going on. I'm like, that kind of explains some of the takes they used.
Yeah.
It's like, that's all we got. That's the one where he didn't
You think
blink.
he's good in Tron. Just wait till Legacy. That's all I'm going to say. But
in Legacy, the performance was kind of sublime. And that's why watching Tron was a little jarring. I'm like, oh, I forget. Younger Jeff Bridges was a little on the kooky, crazy side. Okay,
yeah,
he hadn't fully gone through his Lebowski phase and just realized, man, it's just much better hanging out here. Let's just do everything like this. It's like, instead of, how Al Pacino had that moment in his career after Scent of a Woman where he just is crazy and shouting and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Bridges just got to Lebowski, and he was just like, man, this would be better if I just chill and everything. Like, act like I'm high. And maybe he is. I don't know. But it's like, that's got to be so much more relaxing for him. Great way to spend your latter years.
Yes. All right. A little background on it. So it was released in July 1982, directed by Steven Lisberger and produced by Walt Disney Productions. So at the time, Disney, mostly known for animation and family, not a science fiction, but this was also the age of Star Wars, of Star Trek. And so I think this was Disney's, way of kind of dipping its toe into the science fiction waters. And Lisberger conceived of this video, of this idea for this movie after, seeing the video games of that time, Pong being the big inspiration here. Pong. Boop, boop, boop. That's what video games were, folks, at one point. And, we entertained ourselves for hours playing that. So, as we were ought to do. And so he devised this idea of, this other world for computers and how programs, could exist. And so, this is where he comes up with the idea of this journey of a digitized human in a computer system ruled by authoritarian programs such as, and I love how you introduced this, the virtual dreidl that is the master control program.
And you know what? The one pleasant surprise was I enjoyed how much attitude Master Control had in this, instead of just being like a straight up program. Like, there was some sarcasm in there. There was like just kind of a world weariness. Like it was almost like it really was kind of like Danny Glover ish in times. Like, oh my gosh,
too old for this
friggin' morons I'm dealing with. I'm surrounded by idiots.
Yes,
Yes. I did appreciate that. It was like, oh, that's a different take on a evil computer that I haven't seen before.
Yep. And the film blended cyberpunk before cyberpunk was a household term, and we have talked about this with the upcoming series on Apple TV, The Neuromancer, taking that book. By the way, TJ, if you want a good science fiction book, read Neuromancer. That is the book that basically spawned or was the inspiration for The Matrix, but was really the work of literature that kind of introduced the idea of cyberpunk overall. But here Lisberger introduced this into the movie. I wouldn't say like this movie defined cyberpunk, because I don't think it was really about that, but there was an element of, the individual against, kind of the masses sort of approach, to some degree. And
I was going to say too, I feel like a lot of like modern cyberpunk, like in my age now, it's like kind of dirty and it's very like, real. And I think the cyberpunk that is explored kind of with Tron is very different, because everything is just very clean and, perfect.
Yes.
And, it is a different feel than what most people go for now, which is like, a society that is like, all
like
dirty.
Dystopian.
Yeah, dystopian. And, nothing is like clean and perfect compared to Tron, which even though is like authoritarian, everything is just like perfect and, it all is clean.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, and everything is centralized, which is a big problem. So, but this was for all intents and purposes a kind of a moonshot for Disney, and it was popular. It was, and we'll get into this more because after watching it, I'm kind of like, what kind of led to it being so popular, because it there's elements of the movie that don't stack up when you compare it to like Star Wars or Star Trek, and we'll get into that, because I think when this was released also plays into things a little bit as well, because it kind of went up against a who's who of movies for that year. But it was a time when people didn't really understand computers and computing. And I felt like they at least captured that part of it pretty well, which is, I think it was, is it Lisberger? Am I saying his name? Yeah, Lisberger. Yeah. It was Lisberger's kind of attempt to try to make sense of something that seemed very mysterious to everyone. Like, I don't think people really understood what computers were how they were going to revolutionize our lives. And we were just at the cusp of that starting off. I mean, there was the Apple IIe. That was something, if you remember our elementary school, Uncle Todd, we were blessed to have like a computer lab where we could go and play games, of course. And
you remember, it wasn't a true room though. It was part of the lobby that they had
basically
walled off with temporary walls. Every
Yeah.
time someone opened the front door, you'd get a gust of wind through.
I was just gonna say, in the wintertime, if you were the sad bastard that had to sit at the computer closest to the doors, oh my gosh, you froze while you were playing Oregon Trail. You literally were about to die.
Forget dysentery. Frostbite is more my concern right now.
So and rewatching it with that in mind, it was interesting, to kind of get the sense of, okay, yeah, you're trying to take something that is probably a really abstract concept and try to make it more, concrete and more, like less abstract, like just more firm in everyone's mind of how these things kind of operate. Even though it, probably isn't accurate or is a true representation, of course, of how this stuff works, but it's at least interesting that someone took a shot.
There aren't little people in my computer right now?
I know. Who would have thunk it?
What a friggin' chip!
Who would have thunk it?
Son of a bitch.
I know.
I feel like Ralphie in A Christmas Story after my decoder ring turns out to be nothing but a commercial. What is
I always go back to, and I mean, this is like the monologue that Jeff Bridges does in Legacy, but where he says, I tried to imagine the clusters of information as they moved through the computer, where the circuits like freeways.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's like a really interesting concept to imagine how how electrons are moving through a computer system. They're like sentient people driving. It's really interesting.
Yeah. Well, and I do feel like even though when I got to the end of the movie, there was kind of like, wow, that was it. Like the ending just felt kind of abrupt to me, but I did kind of rewind it and watch it again. And the thing that kind of caught my eye is the last bit of shot you see of the digital world before he reanimates as a human. After Tron has taken out, MCP and order has like freedom and order has been established in their world. It was kind of like drawing a parallel, like that last shot after he gets congratulated by his friends and whatever, and then it looks over the city. Like I felt like that was trying to like make that connection between, hey, our world and the way it moves isn't all that different from kind of the way this looks, and I thought it was kind of an interesting parallel that he tried to draw there with that our world moves in a very similar way as kind of the order of electronics and how things have to transfer and move around and everything kind of works together. But yeah. Anything else on the background? I know we're kind of jumping around a bit. One thing I want to get into is with the special effects, like one thing that stood out to me that absolutely made me laugh was early in the movie when we're taught, not Flynn, but who is what's the character name played by Bruce Boxleitner? Linter, whatever.
Alan?
His name is. Alan, thank you. There's a point when Alan, he's trying to, access the Tron program. He can't. He's complaining to someone about it. And behind him, you see like the never-ending floor of cubicles. Like, and that is like a matte painting, like if there was ever, at least when you watch Star Wars and you see Obi-Wan Kenobi in, trying to go to shut down the tractor beam is what he's shutting down. That entire column that you see going down is all a matte painting that they kind of layered into the actual film, right? Mm-hmm. But the way Lucas blended that, it looks like that really existed. There was something about like, seeing like the never ending cubes where you're just like, okay, someone just slid a painting by.
Well, yeah.
I disagree. I think
okay.
Otherwise.
All right.
Mean, I think it serves as like a really good critique too of like, corporate America. But
yeah, no, that's
I don't know. When I saw that scene, I didn't think that it was like a matte painting. I thought like, they could have totally made this like IRL. So
yeah,
that, I don't know, but I honestly think it didn't look as fake. If anything, I thought it looked more on the real side of things.
Yeah. Well, and I don't mean to say that it looked fake. It was more just, just seeing, kind of the way they were using some of those techniques. Excuse me. Definitely became more of a thing when you get into the digital world, but just in kind of the real world, it kind of stood out to me. But your point is well taken that, yeah, they were probably Lisberger was making a point about the fact that, the corporate world is, can be very large and cold, right? And that's kind of a sense you got from that shot is like, my God, like how many people work at this place and how never ending is it?
I love that shot. That's like one of my favorite from the movie. Even though it's not in the computer, it's, it's I feel like a very real image of how things are.
Yep.
There's a little bit of a little Terry Gilliam in that, like going to like Brazil and stuff like that, where it's like, oh dear God, that's horrifying.
Yeah.
Just a cubicle farm of like, it just goes on forever. Oh.
Yep. And one thing just to call out, so this is from the Wikipedia page, more than 569 people were involved in post-production work, including 200 inkers and hand painters, 85 of them from Taiwan's Cuckoo's Nest studio. But I mean, that's a lot of people. And when you read about like how they made this, like every frame was like, I think handcrafted in some way. So this wasn't like shoot something and, layer in some stuff, here or there. It was like every part of this movie was, really, just gone over very meticulously.
Well, and then in the making of, they talk about how when they were having stuff shipped back from overseas, because of course this is back in the day, like,
oh right,
pick up a phone, send letters, send stuff Federal Express before it's FedEx or whatever. And they got the first batch of film back. They had not let it dry.
Oh no!
So they're getting it back and they're like peeling it, and they're like, "Get on the phone! You gotta let the film dry." Because they were already under the gun. That's why they were like farming this stuff out overseas to try and get it all done.
Holy moly!
That, and there was another thing that I thought was interesting, and I'd kind of noticed this, but I was like, it's like early 1980s, and we're dealing with effects and all that, and who knows? I was like, who knows, like what condition the film is in when they digitized it to put it on streaming and all that. I was trying to justify all this. There's this flicker that happens, and in the as you're watching it, and that happened because when you get film, and this was a very special film that Kodak made for them, you use the film in a specific order because it can vary.
Oh, I read about this, yeah.
And and they were using it all out of order. They had just gone down and stacked it, and they were just grabbing it as they went, and they're like, oh. And so when that would happen, those are the moments when they would have like a background thing, like going, pew, and like they would have a sound effect or some sort of flash in the background to try and make it look like, oh no, it was just like a power surge. I'm like, that's actually friggin' genius to make that
is.
work.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to work with the talent you got.
Well, and it's awesome too, because normally you think of, oh, well, we're going to use computers. We're going to make something perfect. Because now, like when you record digitally, like, and here I'll get on my old man Wheeze soapbox here, but it's like everything gets snapped to the grid. Like everything is perfect. There's you can take whatever out. You can do this, you can do that. You can swap it all around and make an absolute, mess of stuff, at least line up and, rhythmic, all the, like, as opposed to like back in the day, you hear something on an old album, you're like, the hell did I just hear? It's like, oh, someone closed the door in the background and nobody really noticed, or they're like, well, tape's expensive, dude. Who cares? Just ship it. And it's fun to me that like in this movie about computers and trying to make everything perfect, especially in Tron Legacy, where it's really about making things perfect, there's these imperfections in it.
Yeah.
Like, that is so awesome,
Yeah. Yeah, I think we mentioned, so CGI made up only about 15 minutes of screen time. The backlit animation process they used, that again was part of this meticulous, painstaking sort of frame-by-frame craftsmanship. The actors filmed in black and white, wearing white costumes with black lines, and then each frame was enlarged, hand-colored, and composited. That's insane.
Gosh.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why the movie's so short, because you can only do this for so...
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine at a certain point, it's like you only have so much money, so it's like, well, just wrap this sucker up, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy how work intensive this must have been.
Yeah. And then it's what did it say? Companies like Magi, Triple I, Digital Effects created vehicles and environments like the light cycles and recognizers using computers far less powerful than a modern calculator app.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's insane.
Yeah.
I think we already talked about the film being disqualified from the Oscars because using a computer was considered cheating, which is like laughable now, as we talked about.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's like, what the heck? All right, so here's what I didn't mention this right away. Here's what I find interesting. So Tron, released in 1982, originally was going to be released in the fall, but because and the Wikipedia page doesn't get into the details of this, but because The Secret of Nim was being released by Don Bluth in July of the summer, someone at Disney, who apparently must have had an axe to grind with Don Bluth, wanted to get Tron out at the same time.
We are going to smite Don Bluth and his rats with computer power.
Why The Secrets of Nim, though? I mean, it's just like, that just...
It's a juggernaut, sir. It's a juggernaut of child entertainment. At least what passed for child entertainment back in 1982, because that is creepy as hell.
It is. It is. And here's what they ended up going up against, because they released at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I mean by this was like a who's who. E.T.
Oh, jeez.
Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
Say no more after E.T. I mean, E.T. is still one of the highest grossing movies of all time, adjusted, right?
Right. And if you're talking about science fiction and trying to make inroads there, why would you release at the same time as one of the greatest sci-fi movies ever?
Well, and it's not even like you can say like, oh, well, who knew? It's like, it's Spielberg, dude. Like he'd had a couple hits under his belt at this point.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. All right, I'm sorry. So we have E.T., Wrath of Khan.
Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, which is widely regarded as one of the strongest outings by that franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. From hell's heart I spit at thee.
TJ, you got to watch The Wrath of Khan. It's good stuff. Ricardo Montalban is phenomenal.
Mr. Burns in The Simpsons references it, so I sort of get it.
But you haven't experienced it all.
Oh, you got to experience Ricardo Montalban as Khan. He is a delight. And then of course there's William Shatner, which there's there's never going to be another William Shatner. And then Blade Runner was the other movie. So I mean, in Blade Runner, kind of in the same area as Tron, where I don't think it did buco box office, but it was a huge cult hit afterwards.
Yeah.
Like Blade Runner is widely regarded as one of those groundbreaking sci-fi movies. Just didn't translate to a massive box office when it came out.
And I think it holds a record for the most amount of director's cuts in cinema history as well.
Probably.
There's like 18 different versions of that movie.
Yep.
Gosh.
So, what else? We don't have to go through all of this, but thoughts on when it got released and, how it must have held up, because, I mean, it had kind of a tepid box office, but I can't tell if it was because of, like the movie itself or the fact it was like released in this murderer's row of great movies. So it's just like, good Lord.
I mean, I definitely think that probably adds to it. I mean, especially because Blade Runner had Evan Gellis do the score, like he was like a really big proprietor of the CS80 at that point. That was like the synthesizer he mainly worked with. So, already kind of like synth scores were kind of under his belt. And, I think the fact that like that mixed with the movie is just like, that's hard to go against. The fact that Disney tried to push it earlier, like I think they should have waited, like, for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's both, honestly. Okay. You know, it certainly doesn't help going up against E.T., you know, and you know, two other really substantial movies that, you know, Blade Runner didn't, I don't think, you know, set the box office on fire, but definitely made some money. I think a lot of it too is just, it's not even just, it's a weird movie. It's a weird looking movie about a weird subject that people didn't like. It had to have been so out of left field, even for sci-fi people.
Yeah.
You know, at that point.
Yeah. 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 And it's very, the Admiral's in that movie, by the way.
What, in Blade Runner?
In Blade Runner, Edward James Olmos.
Well, yeah.
Admiral.
I thought he was trying to say that Eddie was in Tron. I'm like, okay, I definitely missed that one.
No. You're talking about Blade Runner.
That one there.
I thought you were talking about Blade Runner. Sorry.
No.
My bad. All right. So let's get into the movie itself, and we'll get into some more factoids. So, overall thoughts on the movie itself, the story, the characters.
I mean, interesting, but I gotta
Yori
say,
kisses everyone apparently. So.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the sin that I hold at the lowest, because quite honestly, I'm sure there was a lot of people who wanted some screen time with Cindy Morgan back in the day. To me, there's definitely holes all through the script, and it's not like. To me, I definitely look at this as like, okay, yeah, this is, even though Lisberger had some credits, this is not an experienced director, and it kind of shows, but there's charm in it as well. So I mean, yeah, let's just I would not I can't imagine this was nominated for best script.
Yeah,
let's just put it that way.
Sure,
but I think overall, like. It is that thing where there's a charm to it. There's a charm for the ambition, and there is the overacting and some of the just overall goofiness of it. Like when Flynn is driving the recognizer, and it literally hits like a digital rock or something, and just goes. I'm like, with the full on video game sound effect. I'm like, all right, son of a bitch, you got me. Like, okay, I'm giggling. Like, okay, it's cool, fine.
I just love the fact that there's that one part where Sark is barking orders at someone, and right off to the right hand side of him is a game of Pac-Man going on fully with the sounds.
I love that reference. It's so good. It is so good.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, huh?
Oh, that was great.
Where he's like telling Pac-Man off, and it's so good.
Yes. I mean, it makes you wonder if when they did Avengers, like the Avengers 1, and Robert Downey Jr. comes out and he's like, that man is playing Galaga.
That's all right.
I'm like, was someone thinking about Tron there now that I'm going back through this? Like, is a little bit of it? Is Tron in the MCU, like the crossover that we all need?
Yes.
I want to see Dr. Doom on a light cycle.
Oh yeah,
there you go.
It's got to be in the multiverse somewhere.
Dr. Doom with a light cycle and one of these over his shoulder. What do you think?
Yeah,
there it is. Got to get the belt over there. But largely this story is built around Flynn wanting to get recognized or righting a wrong that happened where Dillinger stole credit from all the video games that he created, and
he wants that money, honey.
It's this whole like corporate thing, which is kind of ironic because at the end when he becomes the CEO, like now he's become the thing that he was fighting against, right? Which is kind of interesting. But I was a little thrown at first, like what was up with at the very beginning, did he just walk out of the shower or something? Like when he's doing the programming at first, because his hair's like all wet and curly. And then
he's got
there's the whole thing. Then there's the whole thing with there's a kimono, and then there's Clue, which is like, what is up with Clue? It's like, I don't know, it's good. He goes crashing into the wall. It's like,
trust me, Clue is important. I swear.
All right, because he that's the last we see of Clue. Clue's gone. Where did Clue go?
Oh,
So.
I think you might find out.
Yeah, right. I think you're gonna find out what happened there.
All right.
Foreshadowing.
I see.
I mean, okay, so like for me though, I mean, when I was watching the original like Tron, you know, for me it was very campy, and I think that added to a lot of the charm of it, and why I do like it. Like it is campy, and I mean, like after like comparing that with Legacy, you know, Tron as a series is not about the story; it's about the look of it, and you know, even though the looks are dated for the original one, I feel like, you know, it still worked. It's still very impressive, regardless of that. You know.
Yeah. I mean, for its time, that was like, we're gonna do this all with, you know, make it look like that is, even though you realize afterwards, like, oh, it wasn't all computers. It's some dude with a ruler going.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, literally.
Okay. Yeah. Well, and I realized too afterwards, and I'm like, that was it for a story, and that was what about these characters? I'm also the guy that likes Army of Darkness, which if you've ever seen that with Bruce Campbell, like
this is my
the most ridiculous movie in the world, you know, like this is my boomstick.
Well, it's not even about how ridiculous it is. It literally is how many shortcuts they're kind of taking along the way with the story. That's part of the other thing is like. I could buy like the actual like, okay, this is a story arc, but son of a bitch, like you're just hell bent for leather and like, well, wait a minute, wasn't that a question that we all had? Oh, never mind, it's gone now. Never mind.
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and then you know what I found kind of funny was like I understood some of the mappings of the humans in the real world to the programs that they work with, except for the old guy. Like, is that mapping correct? Like, because he just seemed like he was some sort of scientist working on the laser, and yet he ends up being the guy who's like the gatekeeper to getting into like the secure area. So, TJ, is that one where you were kind of like, that doesn't make sense? Or
I thought it did because like he is the guy who goes up, you know, to Dillinger and is like, you know, stop that.
Yes.
And so I think he definitely had like a hand in it, and so I think the role that he plays on the grid makes sense. Okay. Also, I just want to say that, you know, you're making an Evil Dead reference that, you know, Evil Dead 3 was originally supposed to be called Medieval Dead instead of Evil Dead. And I just wanted to point that out because I think that, you know, that's good.
All right. You know, correct me. I was not up to speed on the history of the Evil Dead franchise.
Shame on you.
Such a good, I mean, talking about campy. Oh my God, that movie.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I've only seen the second one. I know how the third one goes, but it's a good series. I like it.
Yeah. No, the third one is really funny. I mean, it's so funny the way they do it, even though it's supposed to be like a horror movie.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
I thought so, and I don't know about y'all, but I kind of felt like, got the impression that the old guy, you know, who goes up and kind of confronts Dillinger, it almost feels like him and Flynn had a much bigger role in the company when it started. Mm-hmm. And that Dillinger has managed to usurp that because, you know, they're the artists, and therefore, you know, the corporate guy came in and just, you know, squashed them.
Right.
Which, you know, would make more sense that he's kind of has a prominent place in the grid. But yeah, it is weird that then, of course, he's also in this thing where he's essentially like, you know, T-Rex hands coming out like.
I liked his costume. I thought it was very, you know, fun on the grid, and, you know. But yeah, I do think like it is kind of weird that he doesn't have that connection, but he does.
Yeah.
But I do think it fits for his grid character. Like, even if that isn't him, I think it does fit for him.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Sark is, you know, essentially Dillinger in the digital world, right? He's the second to MCP, you know, just like Dillinger is seemingly second to MCP in the real world. Flynn is Flynn. Tron is an extension of Alan, who's directly working with it. Yori is tied to, I forget what her name is in the real world, but, you know, she's somewhat tied to that. You know, even her mapping was a little strange because she didn't strike me as a programmer. She struck me as someone who's using the computers for the laser program that they're trying to digitize things, you know, take real objects and digitize them or whatever.
It's the early '80s, man. Like we need to have these people plugged in here. Just don't ask too many questions.
Yeah. So one thing I looked into because I wanted to I
believe this is also around the time that Clint Eastwood was in Firefox and he was thinking in Russian. So let's not just get too deep into this.
Fair enough. But I also one thing I looked up was when Dillinger first has his interaction with MCP. He talks about how, he wants to expand into government because he can make government, 100 times or whatever, 400 times more efficient or something like that. And so I was thinking, or I interpreted that as the grid is like their version of the internet. But what I ended up, reading through was that the grid was more of an intranet, and that was more of an expression of MCP and where it wanted to go. It just didn't have a way of doing it. So yeah. So like an intranet is usually within the confines of a physical space, like a corporation, a company with, different locations where all the machines can talk to each other across their own network. But, you wouldn't be able to go out. Like that's where the internet is, the external network that you can go out on and go anywhere. And so, yeah, so the grid is kind of like their early, I think Lisberger was trying to make it like their early version of a network just within the company. And so it seems like the MCP was basically absorbing all the other programs that were being created in this world, which I guess is why it took, elements of Flynn's video game. What was the name of that game? Like Space Paranoia or something like that?
I think it was called Space Paranoids.
Right, Space Paranoids. And turned them into basically like his army, right? Like that's the army he unleashed to go find them and to go take them out or whatever.
Well,
and so
what I find interesting too is the fact, and I remember reading about this, is that the MCP was originally supposed to be a chess program. And that's the reason why he plays games with people. He determines their fate based off of games. Because he's a chess program who is, meant to play that. But also, I also agree with you where, like MCP is locked to essentially like a server and he can't access the greater internet yet.
Yeah. Because that wasn't even a thing yet in the early 80s. Like, I think DARPA, which was a government, kind of program, was experimenting with or essentially getting the foundation of what would become the internet, going. I don't know if it was operating in the early 80s or not, but I know that there was a program through the 70s and 80s where they were working on technologies that led up to what became the backbone and foundation of the internet. So so anyway, just kind of an interesting point there, but I love how it goes from it being a Dillinger MCP partnership to MCP basically like, I've got the leverage here, so you're gonna do what I say, and the character, that guy goes from being like, okay, he must be the big villain, to like, man, you're just a lackey, aren't you?
Oh yeah,
right. I do like how the MCP, every time it's like finished, says end of line.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really like that. It's not something you see normally.
You know what it was? It was an early version of I have spoken.
Yeah, we brought it full circle.
Oh yeah.
All comes back to Star Wars, baby.
I'm going to have to request a brief respite here.
Yes.
But before I do that,
bladder break.
I just want to say Clint Eastwood Firefox.
Yes.
Released in 1982.
Oh, really? Why wasn't he up against The Secret of NIMH?
Yeah.
Apparently Don Bluth had some bad blood with some people. I don't know.
I don't think Disney was behind Firefox. I'm just going to go out on a limb there.
I know.
Saying.
A few moments later.
All right.
Where are we at?
We're just kind of walking through the movie.
Good.
So Flynn...
I didn't black out and miss anything.
No, not at all. I did enjoy the shot of the old 1980s arcades. Flynn's place there, or whatever it's called. That was cool to see. And then of course we get him getting shot with a laser and absorbed into the digital world,
but not before going through a very big door.
Yes, very big door.
Which I love the fact that was at some research facility, and just off camera there's nuclear waste that apparently had spilled.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
And they had it like police tape around it, and they're like, that's stopping something. And Cindy Morgan actually was not paying attention and stepped into the area, and they had to like denuclearify her.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh!
I'm like, okie dokie, hazard pay on Tron.
What? That door is pretty cool. I do like that door, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
This is the geeky stuff I love about making of stuff, just stupid things like that.
Yep. Yeah. Anything else about the story? So Flynn's kind of making his way through. He runs into Tron. That is another thing that bothers me. Now I understand you can't call the movie Flynn and have it, have the same effect, but it didn't feel like Tron plays that much of a role. Like, he is the hero, right? And he is kind of the figure that frees, that world, but it just felt like the focus wasn't on him a lot.
This feels a little bit like the discussion you two were just having.
Well, I'm just gonna say, just wait until the future movies, because if you think Tron wasn't in this movie, oh boy, just wait until the next few, because he's barely in those.
Because I think the word Tron or the name Tron is cool, and I'm thinking that's probably why it was used. But it just feels very strange to me that the focus is just not highly on that character.
I do agree. Like, I do think that Tron, the fact that he isn't the main character is a little ridiculous, but also it's a cool name, and like
it is.
When you and me have gone to Galloping Ghost,
yep,
they have a Tron unit there. I've played the Tron game there, so. It's kind of interesting to see how it, in the movie is a game and then it becomes a real game instead of vice versa, where it's starts as a game and then becomes a movie. What it is now. That's typically how video game movies get made now. So instead of it being starting as a video game, it starts as a movie and then becomes a game.
Yeah. Yep. Just want to mention for our listeners, the Galloping Ghost is renowned as the largest video arcade in the United States in Brookfield, Illinois, boasting over 900 to 1,000 plus video games.
Wow.
And it is often cited as the largest in the world by game count. They have a flat admission fee for unlimited play.
Oh.
And what's interesting is in the description I just saw here, it says, while not officially the Guinness World Record certified, it surpasses other large arcades like Fun Spot in New Hampshire by a significant margin.
Up in Laconia, bub.
I'm impressed that Fun Spot's even, in the discussion, because I didn't realize. I mean, it is a very large arcade, that one in Laconia.
I knew that Fun Spot, they had a pretty good reputation, but I'm just saying, when Todd comes out, you got to take him to Galloping Ghost.
That is true, sir. That could be something we do on a Friday when you're out.
Perhaps.
I know we're going to be in the city, but
I'm just saying, on the way back, just stop by. It's worth it.
Yep. You remember when there was a Fun Spot in Dover?
Yes.
The smaller version?
Which is now a Starbucks, apparently.
Well, the funny thing is, I remember, because I lived in that end of town, I remember when that was a carpet store before it was the Fun Spot.
Ah.
And for some reason, I think they used it as a polling place, because I remember going there one time with my mom to vote, and there's just wall-to-wall shag carpets on those big rolls.
Oh my God.
One of those 1980s memories that you're like, this makes no sense, and yet all the sense in the world.
There's a place in Chicago that's just like that. I kid you not. When I was doing an internship at a studio, it was just like that. There were wall-to-wall stores of just carpet places. It was kind of suspicious. I'm not gonna lie.
Nice.
See guys in nice suits I need about 4 bodies. I mean, about 200 square feet of whatever you got on sale. It doesn't have to be fancy,
Big Vito needs it.
Yeah. Put it on Jimmy's tab. All right, just say
That's right.
Don't worry about it.
That's right. All right, what else with the movie? So we have the light cycle chase. He meets Tron. He meets Tron and Ram, and then doesn't he fight in like he plays like a little bit of like High-Lie almost?
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is actually pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I remember that scene because Jeff Bridges is like no when he yells no when Sark tells him to finish the game is like so ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
But I laugh every time I see that because it's so good. But no, I do like that scene where he's like playing like the catch game with them where they're like catching the ball or whatever. I like that scene. And you don't see that ever again in Tron, but it's a cool like kind of game.
Isn't he playing a guy, the guy from in the beginning of the movie or the program from the beginning of the movie that kind of gets brought into the jail and talks to Ram, and he's kind of like this accounting program or something. He's like, I don't know why I'm here. I'm an accounting program.
Yeah,
but hey,
I think
something like that. Yeah.
What was Rodney Dangerfield in this flick? I didn't notice.
I was gonna say he did. He sounded a little bit like, let me tell you, I don't belong here.
I'm actually liking this version of the movie a little bit better. Is that bad?
Well, you have to invent the headcanon to make it interesting. You know what I mean?
I want release the Rodney cut. That's what I want.
Yeah, get me to work on the next Tron. I'll do better than Jared Leto. I promise.
There we go.
Oh my God.
I don't feel like that's a very high bar to go past.
I am not.
Tej is using our platform to elevate. So.
I am not looking forward to that. I've not seen Tron Ares yet. I'm not looking forward to that watch. I'm really looking forward to rewatching Legacy. Not so much for discount Joker.
Yep.
I'll save my Ares critique for that episode.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I have quite a bit to talk about with that.
All right.
This might turn into a three-parter.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, so we have the High-Lie, and he knocks out the Rodney Dangerfield program, and then we get into the light cycle, the first light cycle or the only light cycle race we get, where where they all basically work together and kind of break out of whatever arena they're in, and we're off to the races. And
they're off from they are off from the races, not to the races.
Yes. I am always interested in the traction of these light cycles because man, the hairpin turns they're capable of making at high speed is something else, I tell you.
Well, honestly, traction is involved in the second movie as well, so
there we go.
Something else to look forward to.
Nice.
I will say, though, I do kind of like that they make really hard turns because that's how they do it in the arcade game.
Yeah.
So
it's very computer-like, right?
Yeah, it feels very like absolute.
Yeah.
Which I really liked about that scene was like, just how like hard they turn in those, and it feels like a computer, like you said.
Yep. Hey, you remember using the program logo?
I love that.
Dude. And doing those like there's like this little like triangle. I think they call it a turtle. And you plug in coordinates and it like draws like different. It was like a drawing program, and you learned about kind of geometry a little bit through using.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I kind of dig that because
a little bit of programming.
I mean, now we have Desmos, which is like a graphing calculator, but you can like use it to do that basically. But you have to like put the correct equations in. So that's like the modern version of that.
Yep.
Yeah, that was kind of the cool thing about like computers back then because there wasn't much you could do graphically with them, so a lot of it was, almost in a way, it was like, okay, well, if you're not going to play Oregon Trail, and we're going to try and be educational about this, here's like some, absolute bare bone basic programming kind of stuff.
Yep.
And that was kind of cool because it was like, there's nothing else we can do with these,
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you can only fit so much on a 5 1/4 floppy disk.
Yeah.
That is true. So the principals get away, and then at one point, one of the tanks shoots a wall, kind of causes them to get crushed or something like that, or separate, I think. And that's where Ram de-reses, and so we see there is death in the digital world, apparently.
Yeah.
But not before they had that little digital oasis where all of a sudden there's water.
Oh,
yeah,
right,
the energy. Yeah, that's like what it is. It's like raw energy that they drink, but it's like water to them.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell's going on here? That was the point when I'm like, I am certain I have not seen this movie before.
I mean, when I've seen it, it's like those like TikTok videos of people drinking like iceberg water.
Oh,
like it looks very good to drink. Yeah. Like,
okay, I could see that.
Yeah.
Look at this. Tron predicted TikTok by like 4 decades.
There it is. And
Visionary.
Then Flynn somehow, like, I feel like Ram and Flynn like end up in like some like, I don't know, hole in the wall, and then somehow he creates like one of those space paranoid things.
The recognizer.
The recognizer. Okay. Like that confused me a little bit. I thought they were like in a crevice, and all of a sudden he turns the crevice into one of these recognizers.
It's an abandoned recognizer, and Flynn, being the user, is able to control and rebuild the recognizer because he is a user.
I see.
And at this,
I may have been building my Lego ship while watching this, and I might have missed that. So that's probably...
I'll say, like, at this point, to the programs in the grid, they don't understand like the users. Like to the users, they're gods. So like Flynn is basically like the grid equivalent of Jesus at that point, where he's like you know, oh my gosh, you can do this kind of thing. That's why Ram is like so surprised and understands that, like, oh, you're a user because you can rebuild the code for this stuff.
Yep. Gotcha. Okay. So he builds the, you know, kind of limping recognizer.
yeah. It's
got like
that one foot that's just like. You know that someone was like, you know what I can do that will look really cool, and they're like, just put it in the movie. Just
yeah.
I love how he struggles to steer the thing too. He's just like holding on for dear life as he's trying to keep it like going in a straight line
on like one of the chintziest, cheapest props you can possibly imagine.
Yeah.
And then at one point he gets turned around, so he's basically like backwards on the thing, and like he's riding it like a Bronco or something. I'm like, what the hell is going on? It's like half pogo stick, half controller. Like what's even happening right now?
I'll say that the design for it's like very interesting. It's not something that you normally see.
No.
Where it's like, you know, like the cockpit can like move up and down, and it's an interesting design. Like I'll give it that. And even like I think a lot of the light cycles and the tank, like those are all kind of just different than what was done beforehand, kind of thing.
Oh, totally. I mean, that's again, it's like that. It's that campiness that, like, hey, at least that is the one thing. Like, it's campy, but yet it's also, it's not like movies now where movies, I think, spend way too much time winking at the audience.
Yeah,
this movie is utterly sincere in what it is doing, even though it's campy and all that. But it is utterly sincere about itself. So, I mean, even in those moments, I'm like, you dudes you're legit trying.
Yeah.
Like there is no irony involved in this. You're like, this is the best we can do. Like,
yep.
Cool. I appreciate it.
Yep. All right. And then again, I was probably building my Lego at this point, but at some point Tron Tron connects with Yori. He and Yori connect with the old guy. Tron gets into that room and holds up his disc. And what happens with that again? I was a little thrown by that whole thing. I know that is, there it is. Yes. Oh!
That is like the
circle of life.
That is like the Tron calling card. That is like if Tron does anything, that's what it does. But I think
it's kind of like when I take one of these and put it over my shoulder.
Okay, all right. Put it away. Put it away. But
where did Todd go?
I'm turning off my camera in protest.
I like how you turn into like a circle. It's
like, I don't blame you. I don't blame you for turning your camera off.
Oh, you're just bitter about Stranger Things and my views on it. So
Okay, all right.
Wow.
That's a whole other can of worms.
Tim's just lashing out at everyone tonight.
I'm not going to get into, I'm just going to say, like, I could, but I won't.
Thank you.
But,
just wins a fantasy football league and he decides he's taking over. Okay.
The whole, like, Tron doing the iconic stance is, like, him trying to, him communicating with Alan, basically.
Oh.
So that they can, because Tron is a security program, and so they're designed to take the master control program down. And so I believe it is like Tron trying to get his orders to take.
Well, yeah, he is. Okay, I remember that. He is communicating. Okay, yeah, he's talking with Alan, so he's getting. Okay,
because at that point, the master control program wants to shut everything down, so nobody has access to the computer. And that's the point where Tron is able to, like, for the first time, communicate with Alan. Okay. And Alan is able to kind of give the orders to, like, hey, out the master control program. Like, this is not good.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Okay.
Maybe you shouldn't be building your Lego when you're watching a very important piece of media.
That is fair.
Who wasn't doing their homework this time?
Hey, I was doing it. I listened. I just wasn't watching.
Were you? But
don't lie.
It's a visual.
Right. Lying makes it worse.
Moving on to the Solar Sailor, the Count Dooku ship that was, Mark 1. So Yori, Tron, and Flynn reconnect, and then they jump onto the ship. Yes.
Yeah.
And off they go, and then they're being chased by Sark's bigger ship, and then Flynn does a little bit of train junction work. Getting them from one beam to another, apparently.
Yeah.
Conjunction, junction. What's your function?
Let's bring in all of our childhood into this.
Why not? Would you pop another Ricola?
No, I found these other ones that are that I know were actually manufactured this century. So I'm
that's good. At least they don't look like
like a diseased goat
look like
turd.
Whatever that thing was. My God,
I've never seen a Ricola look like that. So
At first, I thought the little wax hadn't come off of it. I'm like, oh, the paper's up. No, the wax paper did come off. It's that color. Crap.
Yep. All right, and then they make their way to the master control program, and then the Dreidl Fest 82 takes place, where so basically there's a bunch of programs being marched in, and is he essentially absorbing them? I think is what's happening there. I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Or I mean, it's been a little while since I've seen it, but like. He's also sending those programs to the games as well. And like I said before, like he is a chess program, so that's how he figures out like the worth of other programs is by challenging them to a game.
Gotcha.
But I do really like the master control program. I mean, especially now in the age of AI.
Yeah.
Like he is the representation of that.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the voice of Master Control?
It's the same actor who's Dillinger.
Oh, I see. I didn't know that.
Oh no, I'm sorry, Dillinger. No, yeah, it is. I think it's Dillinger.
Hang on, let me see. You're correct. So he's talking to himself. That's
basically
David Warner. And by the way, it's Laura is the human companion.
Oh, Laura, that's right.
Yori.
That's right.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yep. So now here's what I love. So he and Yori are on the ship, but the ship is becoming not a ship anymore, right? It's like maintaining its lines, but its solidness is going away, I think is what's happening there. And he jumps off of it and it just has this idea of, I'm going to go jump into the beam.
Well, the ship is being de-rezzed, sir.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But it doesn't seem to fully de-res because, right, isn't Yori still standing on it at some point? Or
well, because again, like, Tron Jesus is able to hold it together, much like Neo is able to bring Trinity back to life and any number of other things. So,
all right,
there you go, there you go.
Gotcha. And so he jumps
again,
into...
another thing that you would have noticed if you'd not been playing with your Lego set, you'd actually be doing the work.
Yeah. No, I agree with
Do I need to
here.
hold that up? It is an impressive Lego set. Yeah. Yes, it is. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, Todd. Todd's in the right here. Like.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and so Tron takes a couple of shots, can't take out MCP, but once Flynn throws himself into it, there's an opening, and whoopam, he takes him out.
Yeah.
And I think at that point, doesn't Flynn re-enter the real world at that point, I believe?
Yeah, he's able to leave after he beats the MCP. Because the whole thing was Flynn was trying to stop the MCP, so the MCP purposely activates the beam. To suck him into the game and then kill him there.
Which is a horrible OSHA violation that you put the control computer for the laser directly in front of the laser.
You don't have to tell me twice. Like,
I mean, it's like this is the shoddiest shop in the world.
I don't know why the laser is pointed towards the computer. That's an awful idea.
I just love how when he gets hit by the laser, it's not just like he's sitting there and gets digitized. It's like and his legs are up in the air. It's
he's like this. He's like.
Wouldn't you go forward if you were shot? I don't understand this going backwards thing. But anyways,
we could ask. What was it? Wasn't it Count Dooku who was in Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Yes.
And so was that not Christopher Plummer? Was it
Christopher Lee.
Christopher Lee, and he's the dude who. I'm completely my snot brain is forgetting all this stuff. The director of the Lord of the Rings movies was.
Oh, Peter
Jackson.
Peter Jackson. Christopher Lee was explaining to Peter Jackson because at one point they were like, when you get stabbed, you're going to make this noise. And he was like, that's not what it sounds like when you get stabbed. And then Peter Jackson, the making of, is like, he then told me about some very sketchy things from World War II, Secret Service kind of sort of thing. It's like, oh, Christopher Lee actually knows what it's like when you stab someone in the back.
Oh, boy.
Awesome.
Yeah. He does.
Let's not mess with this. So, I mean, maybe that is the natural thing. I think it's more likely that Lisberger was just like, give us the craziest flailing pose so that it's a more interesting digitization. And Jeff Bridges is like, I'm overacting the entire damn time anyway, so why not?
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to look like a cat that just slipped on a pond.
Which, by the way, when he and Laurie are sneaking into the area to get shot by the laser, it's really funny to watch him sneak across that room.
Oh yeah.
He's in full over-the-top prowler mode at that point. It's like
the only thing that would have been better is if he was like,
yes, absolutely.
I do appreciate how Jeff Bridges alternates between sincere and kind of earnest in this movie, and then just absolute over the top freaking ham sandwich. And there's nothing in between. It's great.
It is great. That's honestly why I really like him, even in the original Tron, is because he's so campy, but it's so fun.
Yeah, that is funny. All right, and then when we get to the end, Dillinger is revealed. His secret is. Which again, if it's the company intranet, I guess it's being broadcast in the company, but the truth about him pirating the video games comes out, and we flash forward to some other time, and we see a helicopter land, and Flynn comes out with Alan and Laurie there to greet him, and that's the end. End of line.
That's all you need for an 80s movie. Boom.
Well, again, we get that shot of the cityscape from day into night, and it kind of has that look of what he was at. So overall, I mean, impressive visually. I think probably the biggest thing about this was that attempt to kind of make some sense out of technology and in a more concrete way, and kind of personify it a little bit more to help people understand it. One thing we haven't touched on, and I assume you have some thoughts on this, TJ, is the music. What about the music and the sound for this movie?
Oh yeah, I got thoughts. I got.
Oh, we got thoughts. I'm gonna throw the belt over my shoulder while you. No, I'm kidding. I just do it for.
Stop
I do
doing
it for
it.
that
Stop
reaction.
doing it. I'm not gonna talk if you're gonna put the belt on. Okay.
All right. I won't put the belt on. Go ahead.
When I get there, I'm gonna honky tonk man you with that bass behind you.
I'd pay to see that. I'd pay to see that. So
I'd pay to see that too. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I really like the music for the original Tron. You know, it's Wendy Carlos, who at this point was kind of like the goddess of the Moog modular. But I'm honestly also kind of disappointed because I feel like she could have definitely used the Moog a lot more in this movie than she actually did. A lot of the score is very orchestrated.
Yep.
And I feel like she could have totally kind of showed off a bit because, I mean, like her big thing was she basically did a lot of Bach on the Moog modular. And that was like her big rise to fame as like kind of the whole master of the Moog. So the fact that like she kind of laid back on it, for me was a little disappointing because I really like her work. And so I was hoping that she would kind of lean into it, but I do think the score is still like extraordinarily good.
Yeah.
I just think that like I really wish that she kind of shone through a little bit more than just composing it and directing it kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Which is kind of, I mean, in a way, it's kind of fitting because again, like everyone associates this with computer graphics and and of course it's not the thing that you think it is.
Right.
Now, what were so she also did a Clockwork Orange score.
Yeah.
There was another one that they mentioned that she was known for that it's escaping me right now. There was like this one, Clockwork Orange, and another movie that were kind of the three that were.
Oh, The Shining.
Yeah, I think.
Which, I mean, Clockwork Orange and Shining, very kind of ominous and creepy. And
yes,
I mean, there's definitely an aspect of underlying creepiness to this too, although it's a little bit lighter. But
no, I mean, I agree. Like, I think her, especially like Clockwork Orange and Shining, I think are very good. I wish for Tron that because it is a computer thing, and you know, this is what I got from Legacy that the original didn't give me was like more of a kind of computer soundtrack almost.
Yeah.
That's like especially the big thing that I had I kind of was like iffy about. Because Wendy Carlos is a very good, you know, like using the Moog modular to recreate sound effect, like particular sounds is very difficult to do. And I wish that she was able to do that more because it's a very difficult process to patch everything correctly to make it sound like a real world instrument. And so I wish that she definitely kind of leaned more into that than just kind of relying on orchestral. And honestly, that's also why I really like the Legacy score more, is because Daft Punk kind of includes the electronic side with the orchestral side, and it comes together really nicely.
Yeah.
And I wish that she did that because that just fits, I think, the whole Tron theme a lot better.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, it is thinking about the music, having seen Legacy first and then going back and watching this one, it is a little disappointing just because of how well paired the music was to the movie. Like, it's one of those times where the soundtrack is the score, is just such its own character.
Yeah.
In the movie. And
is this Legacy you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. Gotcha. It's not quite there. It's like I can see how they got to there for Legacy. And this was kind of the first step. It would have been nice to have a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I like Wendy Carlos, and I think she did a phenomenal job. I just wish that she put herself more into it.
Yeah,
because
I mean, I mean, oh, sorry, finish your thought.
Well, I was going to say, because she is just like the virtuoso of the Moog. And, at this point, there wasn't a ton of electronic instruments. The Moog modular was really kind of like the big thing. Like I said, she was very talented in trying to recreate different instruments on it, because they're like, I know how to program a Moog, but I know how to program it like basically. It's a very difficult thing to do, and the fact that she was able to create specific sounds just from her head was just amazing. And so I do wish that she kind of got a more chance to shine compared to like Daft Punk, or even in Tron Ares with 9 Inch Nails, where they got kind of a big, the ability to shine with that.
Yeah, I mean they were like a selling point in the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
literally, yeah.
Kind of absurd that like at the end of your trailer you dedicate a couple seconds to be like, oh, soundtrack by, because after Legacy, of course, it was such a huge deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think, like, one thing I think it got right was, though, it did set the aesthetic of the digital world, right? I mean, it like when I hear some of those sounds, I mean, it does kind of bring me back to that, 1980s, early 80s era of, sound that was kind of associated with computers or science fiction. I mean, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, I think even Blade Runner, had some kind of, synth was always kind of associated with, like science fiction. It felt like back in that time.
For Blade Runner, that was Evangelos, and he used the CS80.
Okay.
So it's a different synthesizer at that point, but he definitely, I mean, I feel like Evangelos used it a lot more for both, kind of like for Chariots of Fire, especially too. That was another one that is like his iconic thing. And I just wish that Wendy Carlos really kind of dug into using the synth more. And I think she, to an extent, she did, but I wish that she did it more, because for me, Legacy and Ares have a more iconic soundtrack than the original Tron does.
Yeah.
I wonder how much that was due to time.
Yeah. And I mean, there is that too. Like,
because I mean, in very rare cases, I mean, usually like the score and everything, that's kind of that's last, right?
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Yeah. I think that is kind of like a last thing. But then at that case, I feel like the synth would even play a bigger role, because it's so easy to record compared to using a full orchestra.
Good point. Yeah.
Which is like why I really wish that Wendy Carlos really kind of leaned into doing more of the synth stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, I she's one of my inspirations. She's a really good electronic music kind of like virtuoso, but I just wish that for Tron specifically, she kind of leaned more into that, considering that it's a movie about computers.
Yeah. Good point.
Yep. Can I cut in with a non-Tron point for a moment?
No.
Yeah, go for it. Go.
Because I think Uncle Todd will appreciate this. The Braun Breaker CM Punk world title match is about to start, and Punk has come out in the Rick Steiner, Michigan kind of jacket with CM on the front and Punk on the... It's
Does
hysterical.
he have the headgear?
Doesn't have the headgear, though.
See, now you got to go the full 9.
I'm just gonna say nothing beats Triple H coming out of the beer truck. That's all I'm gonna say. That was a really good entrance in my opinion.
Was that Triple H or Stone Cold?
I thought it was Triple H, but maybe I'm wrong.
Wait,
he could have
driving the beer truck down to the ring?
Yeah.
No, that
Stone
was Stone Cold.
That was Stone Cold. Okay,
that was Stone Cold. And nothing beats Stone Cold with the hose of beer, like nailing
Kurt
Vince
Angle with the milk truck doing the same thing.
Yes, but the best part is, as he's hosing them down, then turning the hose on himself to drink some of said beer, and then turning it back on them. So yes,
I'm just saying they got to do that again. They got to do stuff like that. That would get me into it.
Anything else on Tron, or have we wrung this napkin, this towel out as much as we can?
I mean, yeah, at least give it a towel status. My God,
I was going to say a washcloth, but whatever.
I mean, if I had to say something about it, I'd say like as somebody who was born, between the original Tron and Legacy, like I enjoy the movie quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think the movie does have some good critique on technology.
Yep.
Kind of about, the master control program, how at some point, Dillinger doesn't become the one to control it. Dillinger falls under that control. And I think that is like amazingly relevant for now, especially with like the rise of AI.
Yep.
And that's kind of the big takeaway I've gotten from it, is just like technology kind of ruling us rather than us ruling technology.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yep. Whether
That's
it's
fair.
AI or the algorithm.
That's right. Well, and to your point, there's definitely that theme of, the individual versus, kind of the conglomerate and both in terms of Flynn and Tron. And I think, Flynn, in some ways, Flynn and Tron are both kind of playing that messianic character in a way. Like, Flynn sacrifices himself, but Tron is, clearly a servant of the users and trying to, free the grid, of the the centralized authoritarian control.
Yeah.
And succeeds in spades on that. I am curious where Legacy takes us, so I'm excited to watch that. And
so you're basically saying Tron is electronic Moses? Is that where we're heading with this?
Kind of, in a way.
All right.
In a way.
I'm on board. Why not?
So, But yeah, no, it was good reacclimating myself with it. I mean, I think in my head I had loftier memories of this from when I was a kid. Like this was, like I thought there were, maybe a deeper story or a little more kind of character stuff going on. There's a little thinness there, but it's a fun movie that, again, kind of delves into the world of computers in a very creative and, for that time, very different way. I mean, I think that's why it was so popular. It was just a different view of this new technology that people just didn't really understand.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely think too that watching Tron definitely kind of enhances Legacy in some ways.
Yeah.
Like there are some obvious ways, but I feel like just kind of watching the original and then watching the, 2010, so that's, what is that, 22 years later? Like watching that is
it's 28,
yeah,
almost
28,
30
yeah.
years later.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's
that's a long time. But to see kind of not only the difference, but also just thematically how it plays out, I think is just incredibly, like, it's very satisfying to watch Legacy after watching the original, I feel like.
Yep.
I actually saw on Reddit something about, someone was like, Tron Ares sets up the possibility for a sequel. I'm like, I might see that in the nursing home if it does end up coming true, because it's
me too. Like I'm ready for whatever Tron stuff Disney puts out. The question is more if they will. Like
I was shocked that they made Ares, honestly, and I think after kind of how that performed, it's I think it's done.
I don't like Jared Leto at all, but I don't think Ares would have happened without him. I think because he really pushed that. And so I think that's like the reason that it happened, which like, I don't like him, but I'm happy for another Tron movie. That's ultimately what, I took away from that.
Fair enough.
And we'll save all of that for the next episode when we talk about
True.
Legacy and Ares. And I don't know that we'll go as deep into both movies, but we can talk about what we like.
Don't get me started on Daft Punk, because that's like a whole episode in and of itself.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Hey.
So I will try to limit my explanation on that. But
would you say Daft Punk is the champion?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I would, but
at this stage, it's just to get a reaction out of him.
Stop showing the belt, though. Like,
I'll take Timmy 2 belts. I'm happy with that.
All right, buddy. Whatever you say.
All right. All right.
Go build your Lego or something. Don't watch the movie that you're supposed to be watching.
I know.
Well, at least with the Lego, he's actually doing something as opposed to.
There's just a commercial for Elimination Chamber at the United Center in Chicago. We'll be there in person. Woo!
Well, all right. One of us will be.
Come on now.
It'll be Todd versus Tim in the ring. Like
no, he said if I bring the belt, he will referee a match with any comer who will try to take the belt from me.
You will defend the belt if you bring it with you.
I will defend the belt if I bring it with.
I don't know. That's quite a bit of money you might lose. I don't know.
Well, that would be. Yeah,
well, it's
true.
Also quite a bit of money that he has not paid me for his ticket yet. So that's why I'm
all
saying.
All right,
he
we're
might
getting
not
there. We're getting there.
Oh shit!
I see Star Wars play sets happening. I see side plates being purchased.
Yeah, you want me to show you the Red Sox side plates again? The Punker ones are coming in February, which, by the way, the CM Punk side plates sold out, gone now. So I was good to get in early on that market. I know.
Tragedy.
It's it only took you a month to get signed up on Venmo. You know what I mean? So
I'm sorry. I have actual things going on in my life instead of my fake football team taking up all my time.
He got you there, Dad. He got you there.
Oh, all right. Well, I think would we recommend Tron to a friend? Yes or no?
Yeah,
I would. I mean, with a little bit of not buyer beware, but just make them
a little bit of salt with it.
Yeah, exactly. So absolutely. All right, sir, do you want to take us into the next segment here?
Well, let me just throw it right back to you. What do you have for and another thing?
Well,
a recommendation for our listeners and or viewers.
I didn't want to take your juice. This is your thing, you know.
Well, it is, but I mean, I figured that you just have Chat GPT spit it out.
Hey, for the record, we did not use hardly any of what I came up with, which is kind of the point because I just
got
had
you there, Dad,
as a security blanket. Enough out of you.
It's rather interesting watching someone's inheritance crumble right in line.
No, you're right. You're right, though.
Tim's going to be on the phone to his lawyer afterwards. I need to amend my will tomorrow. I might get taken out in a scooter accident.
Oh, my gosh. That's too funny. All right. Well, my what I haven't. Well, I'll run with this one, and then. Well, actually, no. I'm not. I'm going to change mine up. I'm going to go with overall, the Stranger Things series on Netflix. I would highly recommend
the whole thing.
The whole kit and caboodle. You, sir, need to watch that.
I will not.
Uncle Todd, you need to watch it. Come on.
Do not watch it. Do not watch it.
I can't believe you're so sour on the finale that you.
It was disappointing.
It was one episode, for crying out loud. The rest
and
of the series
was the worst one. It was the one they weren't supposed to mess up, and they did.
Oh, stop it! They did not.
Let's save this for in person, okay? We can wrestle over this, okay?
Okay. All right, fine. I'm gonna put the belt on the line.
No, you won't.
All right,
he won't because I'll beat him and then he'll be salty about it.
Paper champion.
Oh, stop it.
Paper champion.
I earned those belts. But Stranger Things on Netflix. If you haven't seen the series, I would highly recommend it. Just a very, very well done series. Captured the 80s aesthetic very well. Integrated music from the 80s very well. You cannot tell me you're thumbs downing this after you enjoyed season 4. Will you stop?
I liked some of it. I didn't like all of it. You're gassing it up too much.
I heard you singing Kate Bush's "Running Up That Hill."
I hate Kate Bush. I do not want to. I had to listen to Kate Bush enough when I was reading Wuthering Heights in high school. Okay, I do not need to listen to Kate Bush anymore. Okay.
I just love how Uncle Todd just coolly sitting back there, just popping another lozenge. Oh, this is great.
This is very interesting.
I mean, the other part is I don't know how to leave, so
well,
just watching a family disintegrate live on air.
Oh no.
My agent of chaosness is yes.
All right. we've heard your opinion. Let me finish, please.
Well, I was just going to ask.
Yes.
How do I leave?
What do you mean? How do you leave?
Do I just X out of the tab and that's it?
No,
yes,
we
but
have
you don't have to do that yet. You have to give another thing. And another thing is just a suggestion you would give to our listeners.
Okay.
I don't think we preface that for you, so that's what we're doing here.
You did it.
And so and another thing is, after the wrap up of Stranger Things, is to recommend that, because I very much enjoyed it. I would highly recommend it to others to check out. And I think it's a good story. I think it's a interesting story, a fun story, and it was well done in my opinion. Others may disagree, obviously, but that is my and another thing. Uncle Todd, do you want to go next, or should we have TJ go next? This is your area.
How about we have TJ go last? That way, I'll buy a little more time here.
Okay, all right,
and also just separate the two warring parties here for a moment. I honestly, I didn't prepare anything, so I'm just going to go with a YouTube video that I enjoyed today, which is the one and only Uncle Corny, Jim Cornette, talking about the Santino Marella and the Boogeyman incident in Ohio Valley Wrestling.
All right.
Where Santino, he didn't run from the Boogeyman that like the way he should have, and resulted in Jim Cornette slapping him 17 times backstage.
Oh.
Whoa.
Jeez Louise.
It is hilarious because it's just Jim Cornette being Jim Cornette.
Is that a minor OSHA violation right there? Or?
I mean, not according to Jim, but that's because, Jim had a very different, you remember what Jim talked about? Sometimes you got to grab someone by the goozle pipe.
Yeah, I know.
You just grab
all the goozle snatching.
And then you just squeeze.
Yes.
But it's highly funny, highly entertaining, and it is not what you can do in wrestling anymore. Those days are done. So you can watch it
indiscriminately slapping people around, apparently.
Well, I mean, he in his rationale, he wasn't indiscriminately. He wasn't a contracted WWE employee. He was a student at the wrestling school. He was one of ours. He was paying $500 a week to have Rip Rogers guys stretch him. No, it's fantastic, and it's Jim talking at an event, and then whoever put the video on, they're doing kind of animation, which is really funny too. So
nice.
Definitely check that out. TJ, what have you got for a recommendation? Anything at all for our listeners and viewers?
I got two things.
Okay.
Well, you take after me, because I can't seem to just come up with one when we do a top 5 list. It's usually a top 8.
He doesn't follow instructions very well.
No, I don't.
The one is don't listen to my dad. Do not watch Stranger Things. If you're prepared for disappointment, watch it.
I love how we have counter programming going on now. This is very interesting.
But the second thing is
counterpoint.
If you're from the Midwest, listen to the record of the Edmund Fitzgerald by Gordon Lightfoot.
All right, there you go.
It's a pretty good song.
Yes,
and it's part of the Midwest. So
all right.
Didn't it just have an anniversary of some kind? I thought it was.
I think it was like the
before Christmas. I think
it's in November. I don't exactly remember what the record of the Edmund Fitzgerald anniversary is, but.
I love how the pro and cons of Stranger Things here is a lot like the AJ Styles and Dom thing, going back and forth when AJ Styles was praying for Dominic to get better. Don't listen to him, Lord.
Or you last week praying that I'd be smoten in the
we
finals?
don't need to be talking about that right now.
Well.
Okay, 2025. It was the 50th anniversary. So.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's a big deal.
50th.
I was wondering why it was all over Facebook and Instagram.
All right, the Edmunds Fitzgerald it is.
It's a good song. I recommend it. I don't even listen to Gordon Lightfoot, and I like it.
Oh, there you go.
Nice. Very nice.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that is about it. Thank you to all the members of the Free Range Idiocy congregation who tuned in or watched our breakdown of Tron. You can find us on the interwebs at www. I don't know why I'm saying the W's all of a sudden. freerangeidiocy.com. You can subscribe right there through the Podbean app. You can also find all of our episodes. You can download them one at a time or just all of them because, I mean, that just makes us feel all giddy inside. You can also find us on fine podcast purveyors everywhere like Apple Podcasts, Pandora. Oh, wow. It must be snowing more because the plow just went by. Anyways, I'm easily distracted right now. Amazon and, of course, well, Spotify. I don't know how fine a podcast purveyor they are, but we're there. And as many more, just search for Free Range Idiocy and you'll find us. We are on the this lozenge is like I'm getting enough spittle here to be like a Saint Bernard.
Did you take that funky looking one? Are you okay?
Yeah, did you take the Ricola?
So you can find us on the socials. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and the YouTubes. All of those are at Free Range Idiocy. Full video episodes at YouTube, by the way. If you have any questions, thoughts, concerns, send those to Tim at freerangeidiocy.com, and he'll, oh my gosh, he might get back to you. Otherwise, if he gets through patting himself on the back.
He won't.
You know what?
Keep going. I'm just settling in. Go ahead.
Those eagle wings are going to be awful rough when it gets shined up real pretty, and you know, you watch the Attitude Era.
I think
and
TJ's
now
going to throw the Tron disc at me.
I'm going to throw the Tron disc at you.
Good.
You gotta stop.
I endorse that. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to turn the show over to the least idiotic member of the group, which is not saying a whole lot, but not before I ask the second most important question in all of human history. The first, of course, being what is hip. The second being, why holy hell did we learn this episode, besides the fact that you're a jabroni with 2 belts that you didn't earn any which way that you can possibly figure it?
We have learned the following, my friend.
I hope you develop a separated shoulder right now.
We have learned that you don't doubt the Oracle. When he predicts that he's going to repeat, he's going to repeat. Believe it. Believe it. Oh, he went off camera. There's the sphere of red and blue. I love it. We have also learned that the movie Tron is, I wouldn't say it has a complicated history. It just has a lot of interesting factoids behind it and is a little, off the beaten path of what one would expect for, Hollywood sci-fi, but it is definitely something that established a concrete kind of personification of technology, at least in an early stage when no one really understood what the heck it was doing. So it was good for kind of giving us a reference point and providing some very cool visuals, utilizing, some new ways of creating film, as well as producing a soundtrack that kind of set the tone, if you will, for what technology and sci-fi was in the early 80s. We've also learned that there are some strong...
Did you just chat GPT that whole thing?
No, that was all off the cuff, baby.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That was all off the cuff. All off the cuff, baby. All off the cuff, baby.
Okay.
We've also learned that between myself and TJ, there are some strong opinions about Stranger Things that we'll take offline. We will have a discussion. I might be 1 belt shy after said discussion. I don't know.
If I don't show up for the next Tron episode, you know what happened.
TJ. Oh, we won't be seeing TJ no more.
Oh, good Lord. We've also learned that Uncle Todd apparently possesses some rather funky lozenges, which I'm wondering now if he actually took one because, good Lord, a lot of coughing going on over there.
It's all right.
But with all that being said, we extend a gratitude, appreciation, and thanks to one TJ for joining us. Thank you for being
having me,
our resident Tron expert, and bringing the knowledge and the history behind it. Very much appreciated. We look forward to having you back on for Legacy and Ares and discussing that. And
I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
Absolutely. With all that being said, thank you again, everyone, for the listenership, and be safe, be healthy, be kind, be good to one another. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. The range is closed for now, and I'm a fantasy football guy. See ya! Woo!
Lord.
Woo!
Get out. And don't come back until you've redeemed yourselves.
So say we all.
So say we all.
Now get the hell out of here!